Good evening and welcome to the Universal Joy Center. I'm Barbara Jean, your head honcho, whatever you want to call me. Not late for dinner though, please. Just kidding. All right, so the theme this month is radical self-love and liberation. And the talk tonight is becoming the brighter version of yourself. So let us join together in consciousness as we begin this evening's joy gathering. Within the infinite and absolute, I find life, I find joy, and I relax into this moment knowing that all that I have need of, everything that is necessary for the fulfillment of my life experience, already resides within me. I welcome it, I relax into it, and I allow myself to express it authentically and creatively here and now. It is in this relaxed and comfortable state that I find my true self, the authentic self, the part of me that has always been, that I today choose to release into the world at large. I allow her to be all that she was created to be. So today, with a sense of self-love, joy, peace, and well-being, I release these ideas into the law of mind, knowing that it is done, that all is well already. Knowing this to be true, I release this. It is done. And so it is. All right, everybody. Well, my big quote tonight, the brightest light isn't created. It's uncovered. Yeah. So you're not becoming someone else. You are allowing more of your authentic self to shine. So I'm so grateful you've chosen to spend this time with us. And tonight we're talking about becoming that best version of yourself. And I love this title because it doesn't say becoming a different version of yourself. It says the brighter version. That one little word changes absolutely everything. So the assumption is your light is already there. Right? We know that, right? There's within us this energy, this essence. So you don't have to earn it, you don't have to prove yourself worthy of it, and you don't have to fix yourself before Spirit can love you. Your light has always been there. Sometimes life simply places a lampshade over it. And tonight we're going to remove a few of those shades. Yes? All right. So have you ever walked into a room where someone simply glowed? You know, not because they were famous, not because they were beautiful or rich. They simply had presence, light, ease. Those people aren't brighter because life has been easier. They're brighter because somewhere along the line, somewhere along this crazy journey of this human experience, they stopped hiding. Yeah, they stopped hiding. And we all have that opportunity. Oh my goodness. All right. So imagine that you're walking into your house tonight and you flip on the light, but it's very dim. You don't immediately think, oh no, this must be, the wrong light bulb. No, you reach for the dimmer switch and you give it a turn up and the light becomes brighter. The bulb never changed, only what was allowed to shine. So that's us. Life hands us criticism, heartbreak, failure, loss, grief, shame, fear, comparison. And little by little, we begin turning down our own dimmer. And eventually, we forget we did it. We begin believing, I'm shy, I'm not enough, I'm too old, I'm an introvert, I'm too much, I'm not spiritual enough, I'm not successful enough, I'm not lovable enough. Well, those aren't identities. They're dimmer settings. Spirit never changed the bulb. We simply forgot we had our hand on the switch. So Ernest Holmes reminds us that within us is where the presence is. So when you think about the fact that we live in the universe, right? Clue word, in the universe. So the universe is all there is. There's this one dynamic power and presence. It's the only thing that exists. And we live, move, and have our being in it. So the power that it is, we know it's powerful. The power that it is, well, that is the power that we have. And we can use it. One of Ernest Holmes' great quos. There's a power for good in the universe, and you can use it. Well, I'm here to tell you you're already using it. It's just you might be using it in a more of a questionable way, shall we say? Because sometimes we forget that we are this powerful. We begin to think we're broken and flawed, or that there's something wrong with us, or maybe we're a bit too much. That's what I got as a kid. I'm just too much. So instead of allowing ourselves to live in that energy and in that vibration, we can sit back and look at who we truly are at the core of us and allow ourselves to relax. We're not waiting. There is no great thing going to come someday and rescue us. We're here. And if we will be present in what's going on today, we'll begin to see our way forward. It will become illuminated. So when we think of spirituality, we sometimes think, well, I've got to behave in a certain way, and I've got to follow a set of rules, and I got to do all these things so that spirit or God or universe or whatever will love me or accept me or not, shoot me down. The reality is that we are spiritual beings, and we are having a human experience. All right? That human experience, that's where we're challenged, not in being spiritual. That's what we are. The human experience feels challenging and difficult to us because we're these creative, dynamic, really expansive beings that have been put into this framework. Yes. Now what do I do? Here I am. What we want to acknowledge and remember is that spirit within me is powerful. Therefore, I am powerful because we are one. Okay? So when we start thinking about it that way, we start to realize that there is no thing that we need to change about ourselves. What we need to do is change our perception of reality. See, most of us believe that what we can see, touch, and feel, that's reality. And I'm here to suggest to you that that might not be the case. That what's already here, what we can see, touch, and feel, has already been created and is now in the process of dying or decomposing or whatever, right? So what we want to do is acknowledge and recognize that we're here to live life and to do it according to our own authentic voice, our own way of being. So spirituality, the work of spirituality isn't adding divinity, it's removing interference. So think of Michelangelo. People asked him how he carved the David, and he said, I simply removed everything that wasn't David. Perhaps Spirit is doing the same thing with us. Not making us into something new, removing everything that isn't truly us. And the way we know these things are being removed is we're walking along and we begin to question aspects of ourselves. We get to an age where we go, is this all there is? And we start to question the nature of life, the nature of living, what we expect out of it, what we're willing to do for it. And so we want to pay attention very clearly to that part in us that knows, okay, that knows who we are. The statue hidden in the stone, I mean, we've all heard these stories, but a visitor once asked a sculptor, how did you know the angel was inside that block of marble? And the sculptor smiled. I didn't put the angel there. I simply removed everything that wasn't the angel. I think Spirit smiles every time we ask, how do I become who I'm meant to be? I mean, think about that question for a moment, because most of us have asked it. How do I become who I'm meant to be? How do I know what my purpose is? Well, how do I become who I'm meant to be? Well, I'm already that, like you already are. So let's remove what's covering it. What's covering the self? What is it that feels like somehow it's not us? So there's fear and comparison and old stories and guilt and resentment and perfectionism. And there's, stories people have told us and things they've said about us. And we've developed a persona that has been based on what people have said about us or to us or around us or how we've been judged. And so we're looking at that as the truth of who we are. And I'm here to tell you that is not who you are. The light that is within you is who you are, and it's just sitting there waiting for you to. So today I had a wonderful experience. I was in my swimming pool and I was just floating on my back for a bit, and I'm looking up at the sky and I'm watching these hawks. There was 4 of them just flying around. And 3 of them wandered off somewhere, but one came back. And this one that came back landed in a tree just a little bit behind my pool. And I sat and watched it for a second, and then I thought, hey, wait a minute, let me grab my phone. I'm trying to dry off my hands and grab my phone off the deck and take a picture. Well, I got a picture of it. The hawk was getting ready to fly away, so it's a little blurry, but it's really quite perfect in its imperfection, because that blurry image, I remember it for what it was, this glorious bird seating itself within my view. And I only saw it because I was present. What I've noticed is when I'm in the swimming pool, I'm present. I'm not thinking about work. I'm not thinking about how long I've been in there, or how long I need to be in there, or what I need to be doing while I'm in there. I'm simply in there doing my workout and allowing myself to simply be. And I don't know how often we let ourselves do that. I know for me, it's a hard one. I like to keep busy, so I'm always doing something, whether it's knitting or playing a video game or watching a program or, out in the yard doing my French studies or preparing a lesson or preparing for a class. I'm always doing. And the things that I do, I like to do quickly. I'm one of these, fast people. I want to do everything fast. And what I realized when I'm in the pool is I'm not doing anything fast. I'm allowing myself to be present in the moment, to be present with whatever is, and I'm not pushing or prodding myself. And so there's a great deal of self-care that is coming as a result of me just relaxing in the pool. And I'm not really relaxing because I am doing my workout. But the thing is, it's done with an awareness of I am here. And it's really powerful to just be present for that time and to not feel rushed. And it was the first time I noticed that I'm one of these people who always has to do everything in a rush. So I stopped and thought about that a little bit. And because I wasn't rushed, well, I was rushed a little bit when the bird decided to fly away, but I snapped off a picture anyway, and I'm grateful that I did, because it's not bad, a little blurred, but not bad. See, the life that we're living can blur out of our existence, or we can sit back and become present. Just relax, look around. Now what? Now what? Ernest Holmes taught us that we could change our lives by changing our thinking. The science of mind is a remarkable teaching, frankly, because it really does zero in on what really matters, and that is presence, consciousness. You see, when I am conscious aware of everything going on around me. Life is there and I experience it more fully. When I'm busy thinking about next week, last month, 2 weeks ago, the day I was, my first birthday, and, things didn't work out quite the way I wanted, or, well, probably not my first birthday, but maybe my fifth or sixth. It's like, can I let go of the past and can I relax into the present now moment? And that's the thing that we're striving for, is to get really present with life. So I want to invite you to think about the journey that you're on and the way that you live life. And maybe you're relaxed and methodical about how you do things, and maybe you even read instructions. My husband's probably laughing. I don't read instructions. What can I say? I don't read instructions. And then sometimes I get a little caught because I don't read instructions. Fortunately for me, though, Pierre does read instructions. And so he'll tell me what I need to know, or he'll take over what needs to be done. Healing wasn't about becoming someone else. Healing was remembering who I am enough to allow myself to relax and be present in the moment. To realize I don't have to rush and hurry. Why am I rushing and hurrying? Who's checking up on me to see if I'm doing enough? That'd be me. That'd be me. I have this habit of going, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this, and I've got this list of things. And if I write the list down, I get it all accomplished. If I don't write it down, I will obviously forget something. But the reality is that if I take the time to just pause, then I start to see what I really need to do. Science Mind teaches that our thoughts create our experience. And if that's true, then perhaps our brightest life begins with brighter thinking, not fake positivity, not pretending life isn't difficult, but refusing to define ourselves by temporary experiences. Instead of saying, I failed, we say, well, that attempt didn't work. Instead of I'm broken, we say I'm growing. Instead of I'm lost, we say, I'm discovering. Words become beliefs and beliefs become experiences. What you believe. There's this old saying that, I know I've said it many times, that I'll believe it when I see it. Anybody ever said that? I'll believe it when I see it? The truth is, you will see it once you believe it. So that phrase that we know so well is actually backwards. You will see it when you believe it. See, what we believe to be true about life is what we get to experience about life. We've all heard about the law of attraction. The law of attraction brings into our life exactly who we are, what we believe about ourselves, what we think about ourselves. That's what's happening. That's what's going on. So we want to pay attention to that. We want to remember that, each day in every way, we have an opportunity to shine. We have an opportunity to shine. And sometimes instead, we hide under the blankets and hide. Or we sit in a corner and not connect with people, or beliefs become experiences. What is it you believe about you? What did people tell you? How did your parents talk to you when you were little? I remember I was talking to someone recently about some of the messages that we give our children. And there's two messages that I really question now. I don't think I did when my children were small, although I wish I had. But for boys, there's a phrase, and I still hear it sometimes. Boys will be boys. Yeah, no, not true. Or, oh, she's so pretty. Isn't she so pretty? Don't you look so pretty? Or, aren't you just so good? Now, there's nothing wrong with giving our kids some good positive references, but why is it pretty or good? Why isn't it, wow, look how intelligent you are? How creative was that? That's amazing. Well, you're really remarkable at doing this thing. So we begin to shift our language a little bit instead of sending the message that if you look pretty, you're acceptable. What if you're just acceptable? And what if boys will be boys is an excuse for us to not actually deal with them? Maybe the idea that boys will be boys came out of the reluctance for us to give them direction, or maybe we didn't know how. But it's time for us to really celebrate the authentic, dynamic individuals that we are. So, as parents, the best thing we can do is to let our children know that they get to explore life. I don't know what's best for them. I have no idea. I mean, I thought I knew when they were little. Maybe my son will be a famous hockey player, or, maybe my son will be a, famous musician. We come up with these things. And that's great. It's wonderful to believe in them. But wouldn't it be nice if we allowed them to come to us and go, I really like this, or I really love that, or this is really fun. And we go, yay, let's do more of that. The journey that we're on is a journey of waking ourselves up to the truth of who we are, allowing our light to shine so bright. Remember that little song that people used to sing years ago? I don't know where it was sung, but I think I sung it in school a couple times. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. The idea of allowing ourselves to shine. That shouldn't be something we struggle with. It should be natural, because it is natural. It's natural to be yourself. But what's happened throughout the years is we've been told that's bad, that's wrong, don't do this, don't do that. No, 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 no. Sorry for yelling. What if the answers we got more often were, yes, that's a tremendous idea. I remember a mom saying to me once that her child was asking for cookies, 10 minutes before dinner. And she said, yes, of course you can have cookies right after you eat your supper. The answer was still yes. The answer was still yes. So there's many ways that we can give positive reinforcement, and I think we need to do that with ourselves. Begin to love ourselves. This month is all about living our best life, and that means finding that inner voice, living from a place of excitement and delight and joy, loving ourselves so much that we show up, not as who we thought we would like to be, but who we really are. So look in the mirror tonight when you leave here and ask yourself, who am I? Who am I? It's a great question. It is a great question, and one that would be really, really good for us to listen to. All right, I'm going to give you a spiritual practice. So this week I invite you to ask one question every morning. Not what do I have to accomplish today, but instead, how can I let more of my light shine today? How can I let more of my light shine today? How can I let more of my light shine today? Thank you. Sandeepa.
Yes. Hi, I'm Sandeepa, and our offering invitation. Everything in nature teaches generosity. The sun never sends an invoice for its light. Trees don't charge us for shade. Flowers don't ask who deserves their fragrance. They simply give because giving is their nature. The universe itself is abundant, as expressions of that infinite life, generosity becomes one of the ways we remember who we truly are. When we give with love, we are not giving something away. We are affirming that there is always enough. Every offering helps this community continue creating spaces where people discover their own light, where conversations bring hope, classes inspire transformation, and lives are gently changed. Whether your gift is large or small, thank you for letting it be an expression of brightness. Blessings, the offering. As we receive today's offering, please join me in affirming. Infinite abundance flows through me with ease and joy. I give gratefully, receive graciously, and bless the world through every act of generosity. Thank you for your generosity, your presence, and for helping Universal Joy Center continue to be a place where ancient wisdom meets joy now. Your partnership truly makes this ministry possible. So ways to give, and we're going to put that in the chat. There's an e-transfer at admin@ujoyc.ca. Click donate on our website, ujoyc.ca. Mail a check to Universal Joy Center, 28 announcements. Joy Partners, third person fundraising. Currently, we have 10. We have many opportunities for you to join us. Our theme this month is Radical Self-Love and Liberation. Be sure to join us each week as we take this topic deep. We are experiencing a couple of challenges regarding our website. We are working to fix all of them, and we will be back to full website capacity shortly. For those who are watching on Facebook or YouTube, thank you for joining us this evening. And please like, share, and subscribe. Also, join us in the Zoom room now if you would like to ask questions, meet other members, or simply enjoy our conversation. The link is in the chat. Thank you. And now, Barbara, for our closing treatment.
All right, so let us close in consciousness the way we do all things. So as we close this part of the service off today, what I know is that the power and presence is fully felt, known, and realized, that what is needed and necessary is right here, right now. I allow myself to live in the present moment, to celebrate each thing as it comes, and to rejoice in the journey that I'm walking, knowing that I am truly in the right place at the right time. What I do and how I do it matters. So I live with joy. I celebrate each moment, and I allow myself to laugh, play, sing, dance, just be alive. With that in mind, grateful for all that has been given, all that is done, I take these ideas with a loving heart and I release them into the law of mind. It is done and all is well. I let that be the truth. And together we say, and so it is. And now we will